Hi, this is Janki and welcome back to my channel. And today we'll be going to a book fair, so come along with me. So here are some of the books that I wished to unhaul. So first I chose The Treatment by C.L. Taylor. I read it but didn't like it, so that's the book that we'll be unhauling. Another book will be Eat, Pray, Love. I did not read it and I will not. And another is Alternative Realities by Nighatim Gandhi. All these books I'm unhauling.
Hunting for her books. Let's see.
We are back.
Gifty get lost.
तो तुम बोलोगे सुनाई देगा ना। अगर अब मैं इसमें कुछ और डाल दूंगी।
Oh sorry. एक retake.
तो क्या वो टेप को वापस जोड़ूं मैं? Hush, they're safe. बस अब तुम लोग अपनी ले लो तो फिर देखो ये है एक Hello, I am back from the book fair, and it was a lot of fun. We have all the books that I bought. So it was basically a load the box book fair. So you have three sizes of boxes, cardboard boxes, and you need to fill it to the brim, not like brim, but this section right here, so that it closes flatly on the top. So it was a lot of fun because I went with my friends, and we friends together, as you've seen in the previous clips, we were just trying to get as many books as we could in this box. This is the medium sized box, and if we like calculate, it was a fair deal. We How many books did we get in this? We we fit around 15 books in this, and this box was for 1650. Plus I had some of my previous books that I wanted to unhaul, so I even returned those books, and the bill got reduced by some percentage. So yes, all in all, it was a very good deal, and I have some really good books in here, some new books that I don't know about. I just read the premise and I wanted to get them, and some other books. One book in particular I wasn't expecting at all, and that was the first book that I got, and I was like, oh, if this is the kind of books that I'm going to get here, I am up for it. But unfortunately, that was the only book by that author, and that is a novella. Why am I even speaking? You all are just waiting to look at the books, right? So yes, let us begin with this without any further ado. I already opened it because I had to give my friends their share, the books they purchased. So yes, should I keep it down? I should keep it down here. Yes. So beginning with the book that I was telling you all about, the one unexpected book, and that is Edge Dancer by Brandon Sanderson. Hardcover. So it's a novella. So Brandon Sanderson is the buzzword when it comes to fantasy, adult fantasies, and his books are just exceptional. I haven't read any of his work, though I want to desperately, but I did not plan on this one because I was just like looking for some his famous books like Stormlight Archive, or the what was that name? The Final Empire trilogy, what Mistborn trilogy, and all that stuff. But I got this, and it's hardcover, and it's a novella, so I guess that's a standalone. So yes, such a good deal I have, right? And I have 9 books in total. So you see, such a good deal. Another book that I have is Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy, a classic. And I just read the premise and I instantly grabbed it. And the premise says Jude Foley is a rural stonemason with intellectual aspirations. Frustrated by poverty and the indifference of the academic institutions at the University of Christminster, his only chance of fulfillment seems to lie in his relationship with his unconventional, free thinking cousin, Sue. But life as social outcasts prove undermining, and when tragedy occurs, Sue has no resilience and Jude is left in despair. Hardy's portrait of Jude, the idealist and dreamer who is a prisoner of his own physical nature, is one of the most haunting and desperate of his creations. Jude the Obscure is a dark yet compassionate account of the unsurmountable frustrations of human existence, which reflect Hardy's yearning for the spiritual values of past and his despair at their decline. And it was in a very good condition, very good condition. So yeah, I should keep it like this. Huh? Another book that I have is again a classic, I believe. It's a classic, right? Wait. I feel it's a classic. No, it's not a classic. It was first published in 2011. So yes. And the book is The Brothers Lot by Kevin Holohan. I picked it up based on its premise. So I'll read one blurb of it. I think that describes the book. So it says, taking dead aim at the hypocrisy of the Catholic Church and the atmosphere of repression that allowed abuse to flourish, this first novel uses satire to stinging effect. Terribly bleak and terribly funny, this skillful debut pays tribute to the irrepressible spirit of all the rebellious young boys who would not give in to the authoritarian rule. Picked it up. Now, another book that I have was actually on my Amazon wish list, and I got this here in a very good condition, and that is The Shadow of Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I think that is how we pronounce the author's name. So, how good is this? Like, see the condition. I am fine with the yellowing of the pages, that doesn't bother me, but the cover, pretty good, right? So, like, this is a classic, I guess. It's a Spanish classic, and I don't need to tell you much about this book. I don't know much about this book, but when I read the premise of this book way back, I wanted to read it, and I wanted to read this book for the country Spain. So here it is. So I'll just read this paragraph, okay? Hidden in the heart of the old city of Barcelona is the cemetery of forgotten books, a labyrinth library of obscure and forgotten titles. To this library, a man brings his 10-year-old son Daniel one cold morning in 1945. Daniel is allowed to choose one book and from the dusty shelves pulls The Shadow of the Wind by Julian Carax. But as Daniel grows up, several people seem inordinately interested in his find. What begins as a case of literary curiosity turns into a race to find out the truth behind the life and death of Julian Carax and to save those who he left behind. I'm so excited. I got these so many books at such a good price. Like, I am a sucker for books that I can get at cheap price, and like, who isn't? Another one that I did not hear about, read the premise. And like, book fairs are so great for that particular aspect, you know? Like, you don't know about so many books, you get to know about so many books when you go to these fairs. You read the premise, you browse these tables full of books, just what I would want. And the other book I have with me is Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskill. So the premise of this reads, in a country town in the early 19th century, Molly Gibson moves from childhood to womanhood as a central player in a complex series of interwoven plots. Her adored father, her vain and vulgar stepmother, her beautiful but amoral stepsister Cynthia, Squire Hamley, and his sons Osborne and Roger, Lord and Lady Cummer, and a host of minor character people in her world. The sphere of action is small, but the implications are wide and carry truth of universal significance. Gaskell blends acute psychological perception with gentle irony and a broad understanding of the forces of change to create a beautifully balanced novel that is both a family saga and a vivid social history. Nice. I like family sagas, so yes, that was a pick for me. Next one I have is Marcus Duzac book, and that is there was no dust jacket on it, but it's a hardcover and it's called Bridge of Clay. So, Marcus Duzac is very famous for The Book Thief, and in that fame, people often forget his other works. I think about that a lot, and I heard about this book in few of YouTube videos, and I just thought, yes, I should try it. Marcus Duzac, I liked his other book, The Book Thief, and so I thought I'll give it a try. I don't know much about this book, but I bought it. Another book I have is another one that was on my wish list, and that is Room by Emma Donoghue. And Room is about, I guess it's about this lady who is like raising her child in this small area, I don't know what, and like room. And for that child, that whole room is his whole world. He doesn't know anything else exists. I think that is what the book is about. Let us confirm. I don't really know. Yes, so you see how compelling it becomes when the when the premise just says this one line. Jack is 5. He lives in a single locked room with his mom. That is all that's written about this book. And rest is the comments on that book and all. It's like inside of it it's written, but people usually turn the book and they just read the back cover of it. The proper premise of this is it's Jack's birthday and he's excited about turning 5. He lives with his ma in room which has a locked door and a skylight and measures 11 feet by 11 feet. He loves watching TV and the cartoon character he calls friends, but he knows that nothing he sees on screen is truly real. Only him, Ma, and the things in the room. Until the day Ma admits that there is a world outside. And there's a movie adapted from this novel starring what was her name? Brie Larson, the girl who played Captain Marvel. Yes. Another book that I have is The Girl Who Saved the King of Sweden by Jonas Jonasson. And this I bought just because I looked at the cover of a book written by the same author, and that was like a very lengthy title, and it's written here: The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out of the Window and Disappeared. So that was the book that I knew about, and like people loved it. And when I saw this, I was like, let us take it. I did not even read the premise. So I won't read it. It's pretty long, but I just read one line. Just because the world ignores you doesn't mean you can't save it. That sold the book for me, and the last book that I have is again one that I did not hear of. Like there were many books that I did not know about, many books, and this one kind of seems like fantasy. So it's called Company of Lawyers by Karen Maitland. So the premise of this was very good. It says, plague has come to England, and the lies you tell will be the death of you. A scarred trader in holy relics, a conjurer, a musician and his apprentice, a one armed storyteller, a young couple on the run, a midwife, and a rune reading girl. A group of misfit bands together to escape the plague, but in their midst lurk a curse darker and more malign than the pestilence they flee. You see, the whole concept of misfits coming together for a common goal sold it for me. So yes, that was the last book that I had. And these are all the 9 books that I got for a very, very cheap price. And I'll keep on telling this fact because it's really a very rare thing that can happen. Like especially in India, I feel there in foreign countries, you can find books at like various shops. Like suppose Barnes and Nobles has its showroom, then at Target or I don't know, many there are many places where you can find books, and for that matter alone, the cost of it is not so high as they are high in India. And so when we find a good deal, we grab it. So yes, these are all the books that I bought from the book fair. Hope you liked this video, and it took a lot of effort. So please like, share, subscribe and comment, and do tell me how do you like it, and meet you next time. Bye.